My name is Adedayo once again. I'm the founder of Double One Stop Technology Hub, and we are into solar solutions. And I'm going to start from where you stopped, where you mentioned that you can actually do an intro for people for our accelerators program. We are in this accelerator program at this moment. Sarai Group, Sarah Impact Fund, or Impact Fund. Yes. So I've gotten to the due diligence, that which is the final stage. So start the boot camp. So they actually asked for this intro. So so I'm asking if you can do an intro for my company.
That's for Sahara, right?
Yes.
I would ask one or two persons. I don't have a direct relationship with Sahara, but I'm certain that when we ask, we're going to find Philip. Let's make sure it happens.
So and the deadline is tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we have to do it today. We'll
Yes.
look for it today.
Okay.
We have to find somebody that knows somebody. I'll post in my groups now and say, do we know somebody in Sahara? I did an intro.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Then my question, yeah, I've been trying to do this fundraising for a while now, and I can relate with Happy Coffee's story when she said some investors are trying to take a whole lot of chunk from the business. In fact, recently I was embarrassed where some group of 5 investors wanted to offer 25 million naira for 60% of the business. They want to take 12% each. So I want to ask, like, is it possible for you to just briefly explain like how we can go about this equity? Because you said you have raised all this fund and you have not given more than 20%.
Yeah, the investors
Wow.
don't like it very much.
Yeah. So I'm actually curious, like, how are you able to do that, and just give us a brief intro into that.
Awesome. Sounds good. First, let's make sure that intro happens. We're going to try all our best, and you to pray, we'll find. But it shouldn't be that hard. Usually, once I ask two people in my network, we'll find anybody, even the president, somehow. Yeah, I know it's a commitment. The last 10 years, we said we must have people within our network that only two people. You need only two people until you get to the president. So, should I answer that first before or is it related? Happy coffee, is it related? Or should we answer that first?
Mine is reverse invitation.
Okay. So real quickly,
Mine is related. Should I ask?
related to fundraising?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So my name is Obaji Apet. First, I call myself a media entrepreneur.
Right.
In that, okay, I'm a journalist and also a documentary filmmaker, but also trained as a filmmaker proper.
Right.
So, and I'm climbing all this world. So, we're currently we just finished a film for Arte, where I co-produced and sat on a budget of about 400,000 euro, and now I also want to do my own film, and it's a serial, it's a series, and we're looking for about $1 million to make that film happen.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have funding opportunities in that direction.
In creative arts.
Yeah. And then secondly, I work with storytellers for since 2021, and that was literally us shutting down our own dreams just to be part of their dreams. And now we're up and going. We want to launch back into our dream fully. Africa Fixers, where we have fixers across Africa who can help international media or corporate organizations or even corporate individuals who want to film in these countries in Africa. So we call ourselves the foot soldiers of filmmaking. We have experience filming for HP, that's the global computer manufacturers. Total Energies, we did their rugby game,
Right.
the entire Africa, all of that. So we're looking for fundings in these two places. You know how it can be an industrial manufacturing of anxiety, having that. We're also having issues with the insurance, having insurance from Nigeria here that can let us conveniently travel and say, okay, we are safe in other countries. So that's that. So if there are recommendations for
Right.
funding
Right.
and maybe global insurance
Yes.
service that can help.
Those are things that
We're more
going
than
to
happy.
yeah.
Thank
But let
you.
me answer the questions generally. First, if it's your first time doing fundraising, I wouldn't advise, especially if you've never like fundraised before and there's no specific background in that, and it's just for one project. It's just for one project. I wouldn't advise to say you should raise €1 million or £1 million for that one project. I would say raise $1 million for your production studio. So they know that what will come out of those studios is more than that just one film. So because if I do an introduction and I say, oh, this is just one film, there's nothing wrong. People can make a film for $20 million. But they would ask what the pedigree of the person is. What other films have they done? How did they do? And all this. But if it's for a studio and you already have background in filmmaking, documentary, photography, all of that, people want to be part of that. Because they know that it's something that will be on for like the longer future. I'm really thinking about the specific fund that's on my mind out. But what I would rather do is introduce these funds that are industry agnostic. Meaning that they don't care about like the practical as long as it makes sense. And usually they are board, they have people who do due diligence that are from different industries and who are making investment decisions for them. So we'll take notes to make your intros for that, but give to follow up with Philip on who asked those questions, who specifically. Although if you mention your name, that will also help. So it will be easy to get your email. Concerning you about valuation. So I think the first thing every founder must do or every business is know their own true value. Don't overhype and don't undervalue. When you overhype, you lose the confidence when somebody tells you you're not worth it. But when you value yourself correctly, if anybody says you're not worth it, you know that he doesn't know what he's saying. And it's not just one investor. There are many other investors out there. So if somebody comes there, as I said earlier, they're just trying their luck, right? The real issue is if you are now at the point where you are really desperate for money. Like maybe the desperate is not really the word. Let's say you are like pressed for money. When people come with money in that kind of situation, sometimes it's hard to be able to say this is what my value is. Although it could sound really ridiculous that even if you want to die, you're like, no, I'm not taking this one. That could be an example of how somebody brought in 25 million for 60% of your company. It's also not a really, really good idea to give as much as 60% of your company to one investor. Even if they're a consortium of investors. There's no round of your company that should be a 60% round. They are 70%. They have acquired you, practically. That's what it means. They've acquired you. They just want you to remain CEO, which is not bad as well. If you are at a starting point where you're about to exit, the company is large enough. You've achieved. Sometimes we forget that entrepreneurs, we didn't come into this only for money. Is there anybody here that's only money? That's the reason you came here. No, now. If it's only money, you would have given up. You came here for the passion. Yes, you want the money, but you came here for the passion, but the love for it. Why it makes you feel, and all that. So, if you are not taking that company to where you really want to take it, you are not satisfied. You are not done with it. You get what I mean? So, you are not even at the point where you want to exit. Or you see people that they bought their company and they became miserable after them. They made a lot of money, but became miserable because they've not let it out yet. They've not given it all. It's hard for Africans or Nigerians to comprehend those kind of ideals because poverty is a real thing. So, is there really somebody that will leave their company for 3 years miserable? Yes, because he has not given out all that is in him. So he's just wandering around the world, changing his attire, starting to dress in funny ways. He just can't really tell what he wants to do with his life next. That's really what happens with people. And I've seen most of them, in America, on Twitter, everywhere, who go through this. So think about it, value your company the way you want, and then, like, in the right way, follow the standards, of course. What I mean is, you can't just set that this is the valuation. Say again? Good. So once you get the valuation done, that would help. And also, if an investor says this, it's a negotiation process. Just tell them, no, it doesn't work like that. Maybe 250 million for 20%, maybe 20 million for 10%. And they're like, well, we don't have 20 million. Okay, 225 million for 1% then. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong. Who even counts percentage at early stages? We don't count percentage, we count number of shares. So if it is safe, you do the valuation cap, and if it's equity, you think about the number of authorized shares that you have given as CSC. People think that those authorized shares are complete. That authorized shares, the shares you authorize when you were incorporating the company. So shares may even be few. For some of you, just do 1 million. But when you are changing to limited and you want to do share exchange, you go and pay the CAC to increase to 10 million. Increase the shares to 10 million and authorize only 5 million. Leave 5 million in options. And those 5 million, that's where you will take, as the founder of the company or your co-founders, take only maybe 3 million. Leave 2 million for investors. 2 million shares. So the 25 million, don't talk about percentages. As this 25 million is for 200 shares. You will now do the maths on what the valuation is. An intelligent investor will also do the maths on what the valuation is. But don't let anybody bully you into. Also, explore alternative funds when all that is going on. Let's say the market is really bad and you see that everybody is pricing you down. Don't raise at that time. Explore alternate funds like revenue is a good alternate fund. People don't think about revenue as an alternate fund. Just double down on revenue, on scale, on partnerships. Then grants, an alternate fund. Then debt is an alternate fund. That's lending. If you look at your unit economics and you understand it, we make 10 million every month. But this 10 million comes at the end of the month. But we need to spend 6 million by the 26th of the month. Then you can borrow 7 million since you will make 10 million at the end of the month. Spend 6 million on the operations scale, maybe with additional marketing costs and all of that. Please, this is not like me doing masterclass on. I'm just giving examples of how you can think about these things. So alternate funds like that would really help when the market is pressuring you. I don't know if that helps. No, sure. Thank you. Happy coffee.
Yes, thank you. So I have two questions. One is an old investor. So we have a project we want to start next year, which is Africa's first coffee skills center. It's to build a center in Ekpe, which will allow us to upscale coffee processing. Currently, 22 states grow coffee. Coffee is going to waste.
I know you. I know you. You spoke about this at the Mayor of London event. Yes, go on. Yes.
So we finally came up with a project that I think that we are not going to put it under Happy Coffee. We want to put it as a special vehicle type of project. So the question is, the investor is asking me what I want in partnership. Maybe it's a question I can sit with you to. He's an old investor and he's quite impressed with our growth. So we've asked for 1 billion naira. They're asking what do we want in structure. So I haven't been able to come to them at that. The second thing is about the Prosper Vesti conference next year. I'm pitching to you to be a speaker next year. I'm growing my speaking engagement platform and I know that being on a platform like this will also give me a lot of credibility. So I'm literally pitching to you I'm a paid speaker though, but whatever it is, I'll work it, but I would.
Adisa, you have a speaker already, and your speaker is asking for
Yes, so I'm growing that because I want to be able to, I have a voice and I want to be able to share a lot of
you have a good business.
Thank you.
Story has to be heard.
Thank you.
I thought it was really phenomenal when you were sharing it that day. I'm like, oh my God, the local coffee brand. Like, I really want you to see this as, like, I don't know how big the dream is. But when I heard you speak that day, I'm like, this is a 50, 60 billion, $100 billion business. Like, cocoa, in fact, you should even be pushing policy. Our cocoa should not go anywhere.
So we've been on it. I know you probably have 2 people to the president. Yeah. I have done this in terms of policy. I've always said policy is a very key aspect of Nigeria doesn't have a coffee policy. Right. We wrote one 4 years ago during Buhari. It didn't go through. Maybe Nestle killed it. However, we're ready to go again and I've said the only person we can talk to right now is the president. So if you have intros, I will meet Ashiwaju. I will explain what we need to get done.
There's the president that comes to my mind and he's driving things like this. I actually think you should.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So that was one on the SPV. If you are thinking about it well, SPVs are a great way to go. Always think about SPVs. SPVs are fantastic. Because they're not essentially eating into SPVs are special purpose vehicles for those who don't know. And they're not really eating into like the equity pot that you have. One of the things you can do is to think about the SPV as like share the 10-year projection of what it's going to do and make it a dividend business right from the word. From year 2 or year 3, we'll start sharing profit, and this profit will share from year 3 to year 7. It will be a percentage of the profit that will go to the investor, a percentage of profit that will go to Happy Coffee, and there's a percentage of profit that will go to the CEO. Let me explain this to you. This is very important. You have to think about your company as an entity and think about yourself as well. The reason it's important is that it's what gives you the motivation to keep going. You are a brilliant person, so in 3 years, something else will come along and it will stop you from focusing on Happy Coffee. But if you have an incentive that is written into what the board of directors approved, that, do you know why Tesla is seeking new pay packages for Elon Musk? Because they might lose him as CEO. And people think it's crap. They think it's crap. Why would he be doing like that? Because he knows that he's different from the company. So we are doing the SPV, not anything greedy, not anything crazy that will kill the company as well. You look at Happy Coffee as an entity, maybe you give it 30% of the revenue. You look at you as a person, maybe you give yourself 15% of everything that comes from that SPV as a person, because it gives you, if you stay with that company for the next 10 years, it will be in the plus. Let's say you wanted to leave as well, you can leave, the new CEO will get it. Then you have, and it also gives people a sense of corporate governance, that there's true corporate governance at work here. And then maybe 50% of it comes to the person that dropped the entire 1 billion. Depending on if that's all you need to build that stuff. Just assume that's maybe 940 million that is the budget of building it. You must be raising 1 billion for something that puts inflation inside it. Inflation has reduced to 20%, but you have to put inside it. So whatever budget you are doing must build something of 800 million, and then you have 20 million, 200 million for anything that happens in the process of the inflation. So I think the SPV is perfect. I think what you should be clear of is that they are making dividends right away. It's percent of the dividend goes to Happy Coffee, by of the dividend goes to proceeds go to the company, and they can see a way that their 1 billion is going to turn to 6 billion in year 7 or year 6. I'm sure they will do it, because most even S&P 500 is giving 9% every year, or 6 to 9%. So if you are doing 7 billion, which is 700%, like in 7 years, or 6 billion, 700% in 7 years, 600% in 7 years, for example. I'm not saying that's what you should promise. Look at the fundamentals. I'm just saying that that's going to run any investor crazy. But there's no other way they can multiply their money, without doing anything, doing that. So make sure it makes sense.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you very much. My name is Chigozie Bashwa. I'm the founder of The Nuts Place. And at The Nut Place, we convert our locally grown nuts into healthy food. So we make roasted nuts. But outside that, we do healthy flours like your coconut flour, tiger nut flour, and we also have coconut flakes and the likes of it. One of our goals is to be on the global shelves. And I had heard about you through Steve Harris. Right. And however, I was supposed to schedule a clarity call, right, but one thing led to the other, and I couldn't. So when this came up, I said, I mustn't miss this. So we've always wanted to be on the global shelves because I want to say that our business started right from outside the country into here. Because the whole structure, the way we produce and all that started from the United Kingdom before here. Yeah, not that it started there, but the thoughts and the way things, our products are, started from there. And so we've always wanted to sit on the shelves of the Asdas, the Sainsbury's, and the rest of them. And I'm hoping that we can make that work. And as we talk about global expansion, one of the things that was just playing in my mind was how that can happen. And so I want to ask you if you have, I know you have people, but I want to ask if you have someone that can make that happen for us. And I know it's going to be a process, but at least an introduction, and then we can go through the entire process. Then secondly, while you were speaking about... Thank you. So while you were speaking on gathering all the information that we need, so I have some features that has happened, Business Day and the rest of them. However, I want to ask if international pitches, if they are part of the features that one can literally, pile together and use. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
International pitches, the publication about the pitch is more important than the pitch itself.
Okay.
So if the pitch has happened, what's the name of your company?
The Nuts Place.
So the Nuts Place pitches at so conference.
Yes.
So the article about it will be used in publication section of your O1 or EP1.
Okay. All
If
right.
you won that competition as well, you were runner-up, and it was announced, that can be used in the awards or prize section.
Okay, so it was an impact investment pitch,
Right.
the SIIA
Right.
in Switzerland.
Right.
So,
And obviously, before you go to that point, thousands of people applied for you to get to that pitch itself.
well, I want to. It wasn't like an application.
Right. What was
The United Nations. It was a sponsored event, and
so you were selected.
Yeah, I
So
was
you didn't
selected.
Consider thousands of people before they selected you.
okay, all right. So I want
I'm
to.
trying to help you put it in perspective.
Yeah.
That's what makes them, because they had the option of choosing people from all over. But
Okay.
they still chose you. And so that letter when they selected you, I told you it was going to be fully sponsored.
The mails and everything.
Mails, you just turn it to PDF. It's part of what you can use.
Okay, fantastic. All right. Then also I also want to ask, so we want to build, like, we have a project we're working on. We have like impact project as well as operations project. But the impact program we always do is like a stop diabetes project, and we want to scale it. And I'm looking for someone that is into impact investment that can help us. So we want to scale it with technology, and that's where the technology thing comes into. We've been doing the manual program, but we believe that we can get more and it becomes now not just an annual program, but like a daily lifestyle thing. And so we're in the process of, the technology is being built. And I don't want to sound,
What's the question?
so I want an impact investor.
Impact investor. You think you need an impact investor?
Okay.
Because I want to tell you a small. You didn't ask this question, but I want to tell you. The small misconception about impact investors is that they invest in things that have to do with impact. But that's not true. Because
Okay.
I've spoken with them. So what you actually need are donor organizations, philanthropy organizations, brand comps of companies to support what you're doing. Let them support it.
Okay.
Nothing in return.
Yeah.
You know, expecting nothing in return. Impact investors
Yeah.
invest in companies like Uda,
Okay.
who is doing fintech, but doing financial inclusion because of the fintech.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, the bar of impact investing is higher than the bar of venture capital. People think that it's the other way.
Yeah.
Because non-profit, they want to help.
Yeah.
I appeal to them. You know, I used to talk to them. They are the most, in fact, they are psychopaths. They are worse than VCs. I'm just kidding. But my point is, they are not even. Why? Because they are looking for something that is very commercial, that will succeed commercially, but that will also help society.
Okay.
VCs, they don't care.
Yeah.
As long as it's going to succeed. So I want you to change that lens a little.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Change that lens a little, because what will happen is that you will now speak to 100 impact investors and you're wondering why they didn't. It's the truth though. Like, some of us for seed, we spoke to 250 investors. Like, there's no. If you want to do Series A, you can speak to 450 investors. You'll be like, what is going on? See Wale's face. That your face is like, you are sore on my behalf. Like, you're like, are you serious? So that's how crazy it can be. So just change that lens a little. I think for that initiative, especially because it plows back into your business in some way,
Yeah.
focus on corporate partnerships. Brands, they will start first with in-kind.
Yeah.
Let them give you Gala. Let
Yes.
them give you Coca-Cola. Let them give you Lucozade.
Yes.
Start with that. And
Okay.
generally, you'll be entering into their corporate social responsibility. And when you do that, care about them.
Okay.
Care about the reports they are going to send to their own boss. Where's that? Care about what they will send to their own boss. Give them things that they will send to their bosses.
Okay.
Give them things that will make them decide that you are the one they will support next. Because the thing gave them visibility.
Okay.
So I always tell my people, always send all your brochures back to the sponsor, because they will take it and show it to their bosses. Okay. Give them visibility that they make their own special video. Make a special random video that shows their brand more than every other brand.
Okay.
Give it to them. Share data, do all of that, share research. Do a research, do a baseline research that you have not shared with anybody. Okay. And tell them they are the first few companies to get access to it. Make sure it's valuable, and you'll see what will happen. Organize roundtable, consultative session. Put something too. Okay. Organize a consultative session where you invite them over different brands. You've not decided which one. You're just inviting them. You put a topic that is interesting, provide food, provide everything. They're like, this one is different from what the people that submit proposal. This one is even trying to bring us in. So these are things I learned over the years, or as a grant giver, that I hoped that people did. that they didn't do. They just submitting. You know, do you get what I'm saying?
I
And
get
never give up. Like keep working on it. They didn't support this one. Go and send them the report of this one they didn't support.
Okay.
Send a report of the one they didn't support.
Okay.
And still go to them and say, we're still watching out. You actually, do you know you're actually more suitable than this partner that gave us money? You guys will have made much more value than this other partner if we do this and this together. All right?
Okay. All right.
So I think that's helpful. Then we're going to do an introduction on. So there are two products. There's this yogurt, Sweet Kiwi, I think, in the US.
Yeah.
We know the person.
I know her.
You know who got it. We know the person. Like we know the entrepreneur. You know they're on the shelves.
I know.
You know.
I know
them.
her.
You know the story.
Yeah.
Because,
Ehime.
yes. So do you know him as? Do you know her as well?
I know her.
You know her. Did you? It's sometimes as founders to reach out to another founder. Sometimes the dynamics are somewhat interesting. People get overwhelmed. So she may feel that many people have reached out to her. How did you do it? So it would be better if it's somebody that she considers as like a mentor and a big brother who would say, okay, help me assist this person.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
A pleasure. Let's take one or two more, and then we can get our stuff and we can continue the networking. And ask other questions personally.
Okay, good afternoon. Okay, my name is Idayat Briggs. I build furniture. I refurbish old ones. I've actually been in the industry for the past 25 years. I used to work in the chair center before I started my, yes, before I started my, and thanks to TF, the fund I got there, that's how I was able to start. Anyway, right now, I'm actually looking for partnership. Because right now,
You mean it, you choose the word carefully, partnership.
yes,
Partnership and investment.
partnership, I mean, okay, right now, I'm actually overwhelmed because I'm like the only one looking for business.
So you need a co-founder.
Maybe that's what, maybe I don't know what the right word to
Yeah,
use.
that's what I'm trying to help. You take your time.
Okay.
We'll figure that word out. You know, it's not our first language.
Okay,
So
okay.
we'll figure it out.
Okay, yes, I have staff, but admin, then I have carpenters and the
I
rest.
also take ownership like you.
Exactly. So that's what I'm looking for, because my vision was I wanted to have something like like IKEA, that we can package Nigerian furniture and they buy it abroad. Not okay. So I don't know how to go about it. Like, thank God you mentioned it this day. They do write me, come on, but my husband was like, they like, they want money, they want money. So you know now when men says, in fact, recently this day, they actually wrote to me. I said, I show it to my husband. Like, no, can you call? So I just left it. So meanwhile, it's also on my case that I need to go after corporates, not individual.
And
I
that's
said,
how they will
but
see you. That's how the corporates will see you. People don't see it as marketing budget. They see it as somebody wants to collect money from me. When you make adverts, you do. It's also a type of. So when some people, you think everybody they post on Instagram. Oh my God, my chest! I can't believe this. I got recognized. They came to interview you. You wrote the article. You vetted it. You did photo shoot for you. You sent them the photo shoot.
Yeah.
And you now say, oh, I can't believe this. So there is that. So don't always see it as corporate. Ideally, if you're not somebody that just likes to self-promote, because that's what happens. We don't like self-promote. We're very modest people, which is good. If you don't like self-promote, hire somebody that's their job.
okay.
They will be the one, they are comfortable. You are not comfortable with it. You feel like, I don't want what that's what they are paid for. Mr. Boniface is here. He's our creative lead. Gift is here. As I'm doing my video stuff, you will collect my phone. Even if I don't remember, even though me, I've been doing media for time, so I don't have problems of promoting. I don't, but he's going to see me and say, let me have your phone. I need to take a video of this moment because I know you need it. You know what I mean? So find somebody like that, get them in your role. It's really important. And of course, now that you've read about these kind of things, don't overdo it. It's not like you use all your money to take all the recognition in this world. No. But like if it's a marketing for the company, see it as promotion for the company. They're also paying for ink. They're paying for ink, they're paying for paper. They're paying for the all where they will give you the recognition. And trust me, if you didn't have substance at all, they're not writing it. They're not. Because what will it look like? What will they write in their profile? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there will be other things as well in life that nobody will ask you to pay for. It will just come to you, like having to come to pitch at the UN and all that in Switzerland. So you will always get, those ones too. But don't discard the ones where they recognize and say, for the recognition to be effective, especially if it's a prestigious organization, not some mushroom name that you have not heard of before, and they still asking to pay. Who should be using you to even get their units where they should be? On the issue of partnership, I don't know what religion you are or what persuasion, but pray. No matter what, I don't even care. This world is more spiritual than we know. So pray.
Definitely.
Pray, and you'll be surprised. But what came to my heart is that it will be somebody that is younger, who is trying to, get ahead in life, and who has the passion, and you will know. And when the person comes, first of all, they will work with you as an apprentice. You will guide them. You will do all of that. But then they will be so good that they will feel like they're like you, and then you're going to offer them stake in the company as they go forward. So one of the ways to grow partnership is to grow people and show them the path that they will grow. Like this year, you become supervisor. In 2 years, you become director. Anyone that is still with us after director and is meeting their goal, you make partner in 6 years. And if you make partner, you make senior partner. You make senior partner, you make senior vice president. So if you create that path, there will be more ownership as far as the business is concerned. So I'm hoping that that is going to be one of your ways. The other one that came to my heart is that you may acquire another small company. And in acquiring it, when that merger happens, that person will become your co-founder. To be able to do it. Because the final one is find an area that you say you are not good at and find someone who can take that gap. It's just that usually none of you is old or complete. He is also good at what you are not good at. So you will be there like that, but it doesn't really help succession as much. It helps your current problem, but in 20 years you will still have to be thinking about succession. Or the person who has that holistic view of what needs to be done. But I'm glad you're thinking about it. It's a good problem to have. And I wish you were, I really want you, I want to see you do that, become that IKEA of this global south. We have no reason not to. You see the kind of furniture we make now?
Yeah.
You can't even guess that this was made in Nigeria. Except one or two times that Leo can touch your home.
No, not ours.
I've seen that. My house, like the standards, small standards.
Are you serious?
We're getting better by the day.
I'm getting better by the day. So, this is the feedback to your industry.
That's all.
One more question and we're done. We will then do networking, don't worry. So I'll still stay around by that.
I see you.
And why she asked that question, I want to say that Philip will share your details with us. Because we want to send you that first eligibility list.
Yeah.
It's free. Just do that eligibility just a few quiz, few minutes of questions. Bumi, you can start composing it already so that you can get ready. Bumi will send it to you, and then we'll follow up for those who are interested in whether it's global talent before, because it's the UK, the K visa for China, O1 visa, and ED1 green card for the US. What the differences are and all of that. We'll provide all that information to you through the client's call. So I can't wait to, and because you know me and I know you, we've said a lot of people that I don't know. I have never met them. They will just meet me at the airport in DC and say, oh, you guys need a passport. There's a woman that came to my wife's makeup studio and said, oh, I'm your customer. Oh, really? So we're already getting to that point now where we know. But I always appreciate the ones that I have some of my affiliations with even more. So that I was a TS startup. I'll say lawyer, some of my attorneys are not here. I say, attorney, that the TS startup, please. TS company, help me help them. They are our people. Like, make it fast. Help them make sure that the work is done even better. So just be assured of that.
Okay, so I know you do a lot of migration out, but we are actually trying to bring people in to the country.
You didn't answer that question. Yes.
Because Nigeria being obviously one of the largest cocoa growing countries in the world, there's no reason why Lint in Switzerland is getting all the chocolate tourists from around the world. And so we want to, in the long term, create that short to medium term, and in talking about introductions, because obviously it seems like you know a lot of people. We're hoping to get the audience with the Minister of Culture and Tourism. Yes, because even this dirty December, trying to plug in, we are trying to create our own experiences for people coming into the country and using tech in unusual ways. Let me not say too much because we're still building, but obviously finance is a big deal, and that kind of project, because I'm not sure
Finance you're looking for from the minister or like an endorsement so that it's easier.
it's
Or what
both.
you need, because trust me, it can be a long journey if you're trying to get
Yes.
finance from them. So you want to focus on getting an MOU in place,
Okay.
getting them as a strategic policy partner so that everybody knows that the government is behind you for what you're doing. And then in that case, then
We applied for the grants that they're doing. There's a
Oh,
grant
okay,
currently
there are
going
grants
on.
that they're doing
Yes,
as well.
at the moment. So we've actually applied for that. But yes, the endorsement, things like that. Because we're also working.
I already thought
You
of
know.
somebody,
Yeah.
just take note of that for Dio, introduction to Minister of Culture Authority. You know what? It's good that you're applying for the grant. This thing you want to do is phenomenal. Don't think about prototype. Always think about prototype, rapid prototype. Right. So prototype, don't think about, where it's going to go to, but don't let anything stop you from starting it in the way you can. I shouldn't be telling you that you're an entrepreneur. So but I just felt, let me see offer that advice. So this 30th December, I want to come and do a chocolate tasting experience. Do you understand? So that would be nice. So fantastic stuff. All right, thank you so much once again. I have a question.
The last one. All right. So first of all, I want to say thank you so much. And please, everyone, can we put our hands together? Powerfully. Thank you so much. For me, I knew that this would blow our mind. Coming even before we were still planning, that okay, this is going to be something that will blow everyone's mind, and I'm so glad that it's what's more than what we're even anticipating. So for me, my quick question would be: I've seen and I've also experienced at some point the need as an entrepreneur. I'm building one thing, and I think okay, there's an opportunity, another thing. So, as an entrepreneur, at what point can an entrepreneur try to, okay, let's use the word branch out, try to start something else while the main project is still ongoing? At what point? And is it advisable as an entrepreneur? And especially when the first brand is not like something that brings money every day, and like, okay, there's another opportunity, another industry that can bring daily money and has potential to grow. Is it advisable to branch out?
All right, the first thing is the fact that something is not making money every day does not define whether it's successful. If it is successful, is what we should be trying to determine. The first one has to be successful by whatever standard you define success.
So the first one is successful, but just that the potential for growth is there, but it's not fast.
Right. So if it is successful, you won't have a problem starting the second one. Okay. It means that you shouldn't be trying to raise money for the second one. That's what it means. Like, I'm not saying you would not raise money at all.
It's not from the angle of raising money, but whether it is something smart to have.
You can't do business without capital. You will do business with capital now. Capital means money raised from people, from yourself. But that's second business. Do you not need money to build it?
Yeah, there will be money, but it's not the money angle first.
The money is not a problem. Money now.
So I want to say something straight. So it's from a place of capacity and timing, because there are people that have tried to start something else and they keep on with the first one and the second one.
That one is not successful yet. Yes. That's why I said by whatever metrics you measure success. If it is successful already and you have the capacity to, look at it. Access Bank, Aspire Coronation Trust, Coronation Homes, all of that. Because you don't build on failures. You can build on failures in order to succeed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you don't diversify on failures. You can build on the learnings you learn from a failed business and build something else and build something else, but you diversify on success. So because that company, what really will be the proof that you're able to handle it? People talk about capacity, and I think capacity is not the problem. Because if you are still doing things that require your physical body and do all of that, then that means that other one has not succeeded yet. Because it has only succeeded when in itself, if you don't look at it, it's still going to work. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's really when you can decide. So in my own, if I use my example, because I'm involved in a couple of things, right? Sometimes I time my focus, meaning that I can take the next 2 months and focus on this one thing. Do you understand?
Okay.
And I know that in those 2 months, nothing will happen to this one. Also, I delegate a lot. And you can't delegate if you are not successful. Who is going to delegate? You think people will delegate to people that you don't pay them? So, or, how will you find skilled people? How will you find talented people who are willing to stake their future on what you are building? So make sure that first one is not about daily money. It's about, is it outstanding, is it successful? Then decide whether to do the second one. Now listen, this is not a general advice. If you are in an industry where you think that this other opportunity is a time-sensitive opportunity that will pass you by. Let me give you an example. Somebody told me yesterday that since one of my earliest businesses was having a dry cleaning firm, I should consider doing dry cleaning again. And nobody has ever told me. I promise you, nobody. In these last 10, 15 years, nobody. Most of you investors don't even know I used to have a dry cleaning firm. But one person told me yesterday, I said, why don't you go back into it? Guess what? I can start dry cleaning when I'm 50. It's not a time, sensitive industry. But then recently, I started thinking about the future of AI. Because usually I want to shoot the target where it's going to be, not where it is right now. So the guys who sold the shovels for the AI gold rush are NVIDIA. They sold the chips, right? And they became a 5 trillion company 2 days ago, right? That company is going to 10, actually. So I thought about what would be next. What would be next for AI really, for me, in my thoughts, as an aspiring futurist, is that systems are going to be local, not distributed. So the same way you have to get your phone now to talk to ChatGPT to tell you something. And it has to connect to the internet and servers all over the world. The future is that all of that is going to be one chip inside your phone, localized intelligence trained on your phone, requiring no internet access. Computers, mini PCs, loaded with 3 trillion tokens or 13 billion instructions. They are there and you'll be able to query them. So I founded a company called Blackshot. But I couldn't get Vesti to IPO before doing that. Do you get what I mean? So but Vesti is successful, but I couldn't get it to IPO before doing that. If I travel now for 3 weeks, I'm in America, the company is still going to continue to run. Do you get? So that's an opportunity that I felt could not wait. And how did I know? Within 3 months of raising the pre-seed for it, because we did an announcement for it, within the first 3 months of doing that, Strive Masiyiwa announced that it was building, those GPUs in South Africa. NVIDIA, just 2 weeks ago, announced that they are creating their own AI mini PC. So imagine if I said, no, I'm going to wait till 10 years time, I'm going to wait 5 years time. That's even not waiting. You can see how quickly large incumbents are beginning to do it. Although that works for me, it's validation. It doesn't kill the business, just validation that the market is there. So I want you to focus on how you can make this other one successful or shut it down. There's nothing wrong with killing a business. There's nothing wrong. People think there's nothing wrong. You are the human. You can shut down the business, wind it down properly. Reach out to your customers, sell the assets to another company, sell the customers. Have a consultative session where you bring companies that look like yours to come and evaluate whether they can find value in what you have built already. The learn is your SOPs. That's what people want to buy. Your SOPs, all of that. Wind up the company, sell it. You are a two-time founder. You just made an exit. I'm telling you, just made an exit. There's nothing wrong with being a serial entrepreneur and moving on to the next level. You know that Tesla was not Elon Musk. Elon Musk didn't start Tesla originally.
Yeah.
He didn't start it from the scratch.
Same with X.
Yes, same with X.
Even Facebook.
Yes.
Facebook really?
Yeah, the people that started as a project.
Yeah. But Zuckerberg was still one of the first founders, the first 3 founders. If you get what I mean, it was a college project. Do you get what I mean? So I hope that helped in a bit.
Yeah, it does because
I know context matters.
Yes,
so I cannot give generalized
I appreciate that you really went in depth. So the final will be more like a final word for everyone who is a TF alumni. Right. So I believe that what Mr. Tony has done for us as alumni is massive, but it seems like some of our people are not really harnessing that opportunity as much as it should. We had this program few weeks or a few months ago where we had some people from the Harvard Kennedy Business School, right, came to Nigeria for Africa Trek, and they had a session with some of the alumni at the foundation. And one of them that spoke on the stage said that one thing that he sees as one of the biggest values is the fact that Mr. Tony Elumelu can identify with us as a person.
Right.
Then he told a story of someone who had the opportunity of meeting a particular man that was very successful, and then all he had to do was, he had in his mind, I wanted to just shadow the man, just be close to him and all of that. And over the years, that really helped the person to become very super successful. So that the fact that that Mr. Tunimelu has a way through the foundation is supporting our brand is big deal. Like
Yes.
in terms of credibility,
Yeah.
it's such from a place of that it's being asset. So how can we balance that with some of us that have the interest or that should start considering the opportunities to expand beyond Nigeria? How can we balance
Funny
that?
enough, Tony Elumelu is a global brand. It's not just, and it's working really hard every day. You think, like I said, if it's all about money, it shouldn't go anywhere. All those speaking in Saudi, speaking in New York, he's building his brand so that anywhere you carry the Tony Elumelu name to, it will be some value. So I feel like the same way you see like the Crans Montana Fellows, you see the Tony Blair Institute Fellows, you see the Eisenhower Fellows. That's what Tony Elumelu's name is going to be ultimately with what he's doing. So feel free to don't be ungrateful Nigerians. This is not to you, so everybody that is listening or that will watch this. Don't be ungrateful people that will be like, oh, I don't want them to know that I collected money from Tony Elumelu. You know people like that. Happy coffee, you will know now. There are people that don't want to, they collect money, they don't want to identify again. Yeah. It's crazy. Do you know there are people that Vesti helps to move abroad and they don't want to identify with Vesti at all? Right. Because people don't need a reason to meet you. I don't know if people don't need a reason not to like you. You can just be like, you collected my money, you've done the job. So why do you want to be friends with me? Maybe you collected money. Somebody has written that to us by email before. And I'm like, so we are doing business and we deliver. It's not like, so what am I saying in essence is that, in your case, do the opposite. Slap it on your resume, slap it on your LinkedIn. Techstars, we've long left Techstars. We don't even remember what we did with money we got the Techstars. I mean, the company is here, we thank God. But I'm saying that the way I still talk about Techstars, you would think that maybe it's yesterday they gave us money. That's the art that, and the organizations that look at that. And if we support this guy, if we are part of this guy's dream, he will continue to carry us wherever it goes. So encourage them to carry it wherever they go. It could be then that somebody who is Japanese, Haitian, Asian, Mexican, will read about who Tony Elumelu is, and by virtue of that, increase the respect that they have for you and your own organization. I didn't talk about reverse data very well. So the assumption when we talk about helping people to migrate is that people think that it's only helping people to move from Nigeria abroad that we do. In fact, it's so bad that you think that abroad, people should think that we help people move from America to somewhere else. No. In abroad too, they still think that we help Nigerians to come and invade their country. So we have a lot of work that we're doing. Our platform is a global mobility platform. We help people move from one country to the other. We help Americans move to Nigeria. We help Chinese people move to the US. We help Zambians move to Canada. We help Kenyans move to the United Kingdom. We help people from the United Kingdom to move to Ghana. We help Americans relocate back home to Ghana. So we have a product called Elite Pass that basically is an airport concierge service and a welcome kit. When people are coming in for 30 December, we're handing it over to them. It contains EC, a debit card, other things that they need to settle back home. How do you find a home? Who are the real estate partners? How can you buy a place? And things like that. Where are the tourist attractions to go to? And so on and so forth. So it's not just one way fits all, where many to many, a country establishment, and our goal is to make sure that people can, in 30 years, our own dream is that the walls of visa and barriers should be down. That's why I say, what will now be your business then? We'll wait till then. We'll wait till then. But you can't be building to solve a problem that is perpetually not supposed to be solvable. So what are you now doing? So a financial institution, you're a bank, your goal is to make sure 200 million Nigerians are included. When they're included, you will think about what else you are going to do. If it's electricity or solar that you are doing, your goal is not to never be able to solve the problem of solar. It is to see a future where the problem of solar or problem of power is solved, and then what will happen from there. So I know my next task, I know my next vision, I know my next acceleration of what Vesti is going to do. You know, if we are done moving people on the planet, we'll move to space. You know, I mean, yes, there's an opportunity there because there's going to be governance of space at the end of the day. You know, it could be in this generation, it could be in the lifetime. Right? One more time, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, everyone.
Please let's stay in touch. And whenever you hear from us or when we are doing something, please come on in. We're going to send you tickets for our end of the year party. We'll send you I mean, like, because we like to make friends with, like, we're friends with future awards, with a number of communities like the PBN, like yours, like, and we always invite them to the things that we're doing. Because that's what, you know, there's nothing as powerful as how people who understand your story, who see you evolve. You know,
we give them to that pen
yeah, well, okay. I know that
Picture, where we're taking picture.
everything years people are looking at you.
It's raining
downstairs. There's not really going
We
down.
should go downstairs now.
How is that? You know the
Yes.
story. You are the guy who knows the story. It won't just be one way. It will be both ways as well. We will see you guys also having involved. I mean, like I knew Happy Coffee when they were just when they just had 17 products and they were just covering Nigeria and Ghana only. Now they are in so.
I want you to become the president of Nigeria.
I want to be president of Nigeria.
I saw that.
So thank you guys one more time. God bless you.